Hello, everyone. My name is Sushma Singh. I'm an author, transformation life coach, and founder of Dream Design Your Life, the best place for your personal and professional growth. Welcome to yet another episode of Breaking Out of Your Shell. And thank you so much for all the love and support that you have been giving to this channel. It surely means a lot. Keep doing that because it really encourages me and motivates me to bring even better learning on this platform. So keep doing that. I love you all. Now, moving on, for people who are new here, this channel is all about inspiring stories that are happening around us because I believe that, it's the stories that actually resonates us and somewhere it just clicks in our heart, and it just encourages us to play, bigger in our life. When we hear two stories like these, it really encourages us. And the whole purpose of this channel especially is talking about those stories and getting inspired by them. So moving on and starting with the session. So helping others is a natural human virtue. But how many of us actually do that, right? All the major scriptures or all the major religions that are on this globe, they talk about helping people, right? Starting with Bhagavad Gita, it says that every human must contribute at least 10% of whatever they are earning to the people in need or do charity. Talking about Islam, they have this beautiful concept of zakat, where they say that you must help the widows, children, orphans, needy, and poor peoples. And once you do service to them, you are actually doing service to Allah. Talking about Christianity, it says that don't harden your heart when you look towards your poor brothers and sisters. Just open your heart, give them, help them, and I shall help you. Talking about Buddhism, they have this again very beautiful concept of dana, which is also in Hinduism, that you must give away some part of your materialistic possessions to help the needy and the poor ones. So why is it so? Why all the wisdom? Why they talk about helping others? It is not something that by giving away, actually we bring something to ourselves. So once we do these kind of things, once we help others, once we do charity, once we bring smile to the people who really need it, actually it just opens up our heart. It reduces our attachment to these materialistic thing, and the kind of peace and fulfillment that you get from doing this kind of work is amazing. Like nothing else can give you this kind of calmness and peace in your life than helping others will do. So the reason I'm talking about this is because the person that I have with me today is somebody who is contributing to the society in like really, really good way. And I think, all of us after listening to his stories will get some kind of inspiration, because I really love what he's doing. I really love and respect what he's doing. And I want all of us to get inspired by, not only in terms of like just getting inspiration in mind, but will actually take some action and get involved in doing something like that. So without further ado, let me welcome. Hello, Rahul. Thank you so much for being
So,
here.
thank you, Sushma. Thank you for an amazing introduction. Thank you so much. Good
Okay,
to be here.
so yeah. So for people, I'll read his bio. So he is Rahul Kharkaria. He has 15 years of experience in IT across the globe. He runs an NGO called Yavdoot, where he is involved in various projects. And among them, important ones are drinking water project, where they supply clean drinking water to rural areas. Then there is Project Nutrition, which started in lockdown, where they provide nutritious meal to poor families and orphanages and night shelters. They also support Stay Active NGO, which is pedal more, pollute less thief, and it provides cycle to the needy ones. Yavdoot recently launched Yavdoot Health with free telemedical consulting to support current pandemic. He is doing so much for this society, and I can't wait to hear more from him. So without further ado, let's get started. So Rahul, tell us to begin with, how did all this started? Like, how did you found your passion in serving others? Was there a
Sure.
moment, instance, or
Yeah,
some
no,
kind of
thank you.
story? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the nice introduction. So let me just tell you, let me take a step back and explain. So I'm basically from a very small town called Shivsagar in Assam. And then like so 14 years of schooling and studies that I did, but eventually I stepped out. I did my engineering from Triple IT, and then I stepped out and moved my master's in UK. And then I just start rolling around and start moving and it's kind of more you call globe trotting. And then I realized that how blessed we are, like we all of us, like you, me, we're talking. So we are really blessed, right? Going to the first world, like US, Canada, UK, you can see that, the people's life is much better. So they have different kinds of aspirations and stuff they do because they already have the basics right. But when I come back to India, or particularly in my state, or I mean almost a lot of states have huge amount of population which is below poverty line. So when you see them, you really feel deprived. I mean, it's like there are so many people who are deprived of good things, right? So I thought that when we are so much blessed, why can't we do something for them? And when I started a small project to do that, it gives me immense satisfaction, right? As I said, like at every night when I go to bed, when I want to make sure that I did something good and I sleep well, right? So then when I started doing it, it become, so all of a sudden I realized that people are really appreciating it. People really are in need, and there are multiple NGOs, multiple people are working. And I would really like to thank, during the pandemic that we are all going through, like India, along with the government is doing all their best, but all these NGOs has come up really good to support people around, right? We all know that. But somehow I feel that I'm working at the ground. I'm going to support the people, and that satisfaction is something that I cannot explain in words, right? And then how people come and bless you, how people come and try to say, okay, this is exactly what we're looking for, but we're not getting the support. But that's something like that keeps on going on and on, and it's now maybe 6 years. Last 6 years I've been associated with Avadut, as you said. So Avadut meaning is Avadut, a step towards humanity. So I started this foundation along with my father. My father was an ex-defense and ex-ONGC employee. But then the meaning of Avadut is giving to people without any expectations. So I give people without any expectations. That is a major human behavior that we all go through, that whenever we do something, being a job or being it anywhere, we expect something out of it, right? So the moment you stop expecting something when you're doing something, then you are in a different world.
Yes.
So that is where it all started. And then it kind of continues.
Okay, great. So, like Rahul, I would like to know why didn't you thought that you should serve people with some kind of business where you'll be able to get a lot of people employed, or a school or anything else? Why particularly NGO you think would serve the best?
Yeah, so actually I do have plans for that, right? So there are places where we have seen that people really need jobs. People really, I mean, to make a long term, so NGO like kind of support I'm doing maybe is a temporary, right? But if I get people into job, if I get people into work, then that will be something, that will really help them for lifetime. But that is something, I need to make sure that I'm there to start that work.
Yes.
But I think I'm not there yet. So that's the reason I started on a very small scale, right? So as you said, the first project I was done for I've been to a village. I went to a village, and I realized that the kids, I heard the story, I overheard from the villagers that small kids between 6 months to 3 years are dying because of waterborne diseases, right? And that's very, very heart wrenching, right? So how can, just because of water, and we have Brahmaputra in Assam, like it's all over water, but there is no drinkable water. So that is where I thought that let me project something with a drinking water plant, and then I see how it works. So that was my first project in 2015. And then what I did is, like, we have these common areas, like we have, as you said, we have mosque, we have mandir, we have church. So those are like the people of villages, they run those places. So I projected a water treatment plant which to provide drinking water to villagers, and it worked out really well. People really liked it. And I did not take any donation, because I'm still working. I'm with some IT firm, so I definitely don't want to go for donations and stuff. So whatever I could do with my own capacity, I did that project. And that village was really satisfying to see, like, they are coming every day to get drinking water. And then I may not be able to help 1,000 at a shot, but at least 500 people or 200 people are getting help. And moment I saw that, I started this project for a couple of other villages with the help of my father. And that is where so far, I would say I was able to cover more than 10,000 people in like 16 to 17 villages where they are getting water, and then constantly, right? So those are some of the areas that I think, that really give some, what I say. I mean, I have no words to explain. I'm sorry for that, but that really keeps me going.
Yes, because just now we talked that this is something when you help that like people who really need your help, when you do that, it could be as small as you know, it cannot be like quantified in ki iski value is
Correct.
more, iski value is less.
Yeah.
Whatever that need is, that is something very important. Once you fulfill it, it's amazing. So just talk to us about your other projects also because you are doing so many things. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, also like since I've been traveling, so I love travel. Okay, that's where I started. So when I go around places, and I believe that that is something I'd like to teach my kids or next generation, that when you travel around places, when you meet other people, your perspective changes, right? So you get to know like how people think. Everyone thinks a different way. We are in a set mindset, like this is what we have to do and all. But when you talk to other people around the globe, you realize that everyone has their own perspective and they are not incorrect. Everyone has their own choices. So that is where I started talking about like in India, typically in India, so we have a lot of other things that we need to take care of, right? It's not about the basics. So then when these water projects were going on, that was every year what I do, like, I mean, it's a good story again. So I don't celebrate my son's birthday. So my son is now 6 years. So only once I celebrate his birthday because his mom was too much behind me. But I don't celebrate his birthday. So on the day of his birthday, I try to do one such project for people. And then I make sure that the entire amount, whatever I was supposed to spend on his birthday or anything that I need to plan to do, I just put it there, right? So after every year on year, I have done these projects, these water projects. So that was going on. Now suddenly, as I told, I keep traveling. So recently I've been to Europe, and then I stayed in. I somehow happened to stay in Scotland, and that is when this all pandemic started, right? So I couldn't travel back, and then and all everything is stopped, so nothing could be done. So then I realized that what can be done better. Then I realized that people in the rural areas are struggling for food, the basic food during the pandemic, right? We from the IT industry, we know we have a good job in hand. We do work from home, things working out, but it's not applicable for all. So that is where I started a project called Project Nutrition. So what I did, I have some college friends in my hometown, like which is in my state, basically Assam. So I spoke to them and I said, what can be done better? So they said, we will help you if you are okay. We'll help you because they are the people. They are like very good friends of mine. Partha Jyoti and Pranav Jyoti. They studied with me together in Triple IT. They are doing a lot of good work at ground in Assam. So I spoke to them, and they within a 3 days or 4 days time, we could gather 40 volunteers and who have state driving license. I mean, during that war, during the pandemic time, nobody can go out, right? So we got this 40 odd volunteers, and I was still in Scotland. So and then I was able to do it over the voice call, over the Skype calls, over the Zoom calls. I was trying to collate, and then this 40 odd people, we are able to. I was mostly helping monetary and the planning purpose, but these guys have really done the work at the ground, and we were able to cover 33 districts in Assam and in Arunachal, and provided food packets which consist of the nutritious food. I mean, with the basic food, right? I mean, I'll share some photos with you how it looks like. But 5 days to 6 days of food packets for one family, we gather, and we have provided 1,012 families with those food stuff, right? And then a lot of orphanages, and we have done some videos as well. There's some news coverage there too. I can share, but that's okay. Coverage is part, this different part. But then orphanages, some women night shelters, and then wherever we got some support from media, like here, media always reach somewhere where these people are struggling, and also we connected with them, and we reach out to them, to the old people, and we targeted basically the old people, the pregnant women, or the daily wagers who are not able to work. So we supported 1,000+ families with all these orphanages, night shelters and stuff. And then I have some good friends and Samaritan friends from media, so I took help from them also. And then yes, I could do that. Being in outside the country, I could do that, and that has really worked out really good for us. And I want to make sure that I continue that part, not just for the pandemic, because I want definitely want pandemic to be over. We all want, right? But I want to make sure that still there are a deprived set of people, like lactating mothers, right? So that people who are pregnant, women are pregnant, but they are not able to feed themselves properly. And then they have lactating babies and stuff. So we're trying to work out on those areas to see how we can continue this support for longer duration.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah. Okay, so see, just now you said that you were in Scotland, but everything worked out over here. Like somehow you were able to reach out the people who were needy ones. So it's all about intentions. We were earlier talking about that also. That if your intentions are all good, if you really want to help anybody, for most of us we are like, यार help तो करना चाहते हैं, but we don't know how to do that. So
Yeah.
just put your intentions right into this universe. He's an example. He just thought that he wanted to help. He was somewhere out of India, out of like somewhere so far, but still he was able to do what he wanted to because he wanted to serve somebody. So don't make it a
Yeah.
restriction that you cannot because you are bound. You aren't. Just put your intentions and you will get it. So
Yeah,
moving
see,
on, Rahul.
we're in the
Yeah.
digital area. Sorry to cut you there, but we're in a digital area, right? We're in a digital
Yes.
era where we have
Yes.
access to internet, we have access to everything. I mean, I would say the research that I do, I lot of do research on the Gartner and Forrester. From the research perspective, I see more people have access to internet and mobile phones than water and
And
toilets, right?
yes.
That is the reason,
True.
right?
Yes.
We are able to give free Wi-Fi, free internet, but the basic things are not there. Now we are seeing that people like Richard, you talk about Elon Musk and all these big people like there we are reaching to the Mars, we are reaching the moon, we are going to space, right? We are one side of the world, like we are going way ahead. But in the
Yeah.
one side of the world, like I'm not talking about India. I'm kind of following up a lot of other countries also.
Yeah.
The situation is miserable. I mean, there are certain countries. If I tell you the names, they are in a miserable state. Then India, the people are. I follow WHO and UNICEF stuff. I don't donate there as well, but I see that people are eating cactus cactus, as a food because they don't have anything to eat.
Yes.
So on one side of the world, we are going all the way. We are doing research. We are into hyperloops. We are into Bitcoin. We are whatnot. And in the other side, the basic things that we need is in scarce, right? So there's a huge imbalance. So
Mm.
my idea is to just somehow balance it out with my capacity, whatever I could. That is the whole idea.
That's perfectly said, Rahul. Like here, I would just like to quote this. So there is a lady called Louise. I'm very sure most of you would have heard of her. She says that it's the world is hungry and deprived not because there is lack of food or water. There is lack
Yes.
of love. Actually, we don't love people. There's so much of food that gets spoiled, that get rotten. They want to save so that they can higher the price and sell it in the market for their own profits. They don't think about people who are really starving for that single grain or single drop of water. So it's lack of love. It's not lack of food or water or anything. Universe is abundance. It's we people who make us deprive, or if
Yeah.
our brothers and sisters are deprived of these basic necessities, it's because of we people. And we must, it's high time that we should consider these days.
No, no,
So
very rightly said that quote. I love that quote. Like too many people are hungry and thirsty, not because there's dearth of food or water. It's because
yes,
there's dearth of love and care in human hearts, right?
yes,
So you don't
yes,
have to feed 1,000 people. You don't have to feed 1,000 people. Just did for two. I mean
yes,
that itself will make a lot
yes.
of difference,
Yes,
right?
there is another quote, they say that everyone cannot, like someone cannot help everyone, but everyone can help someone. If each
Yeah.
one can help one, everybody will be helped. It's
Yes,
that simple, but still, somehow we could
we'll be
not
there.
figure out. Yeah,
I'm, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. We'll be there one day for sure. I mean,
yeah,
we have to
definitely.
we have to keep this legacy. We have to get this work of gratitude to our next generation, next people, so that they can take it over, and their mindset should be think that way. I mean, I don't want my kid to be, and learning about, maths. I mean, see the skill set. Like we've been hiring people from here and there, but the biggest skill set in today's world is the humanity. If
Yes,
one person is understand how to talk to the other person, because words are very powerful. If
yes.
one person knows how to talk to the person,
Mm.
one person knows how to behave well. I mean, that I think no big skill can be supersede that. So that's the biggest thing. That's what I want to learn. I want my kid to travel across the world.
Yes.
That's what I want, and I want make him this kind of updates, or this kind of updates. I keep telling him that this is what we need to do, this is how we need to do, so that we can imbibe them in their mind, and then hopefully they can change. I mean, it is not something one generation can change. It will take
Mhm.
it will take up many generations to come up there. Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
very, hopeful because we can see that, after this pandemic, especially people have started thinking otherwise. Like
Yes,
till now they had been super centered, but now they have, started. So we can
yes,
see the shift in mindset, as a now the whole world is coming together. I'm very hopeful that, somewhere I believe that we are actually heading towards a big change that is
Yes.
actually going
Yeah.
to serve humanity, that is going to be a big transformation in the whole world. This is what I believe, and I think I should be correct.
No, no,
Like
absolutely.
somehow, yes, somehow
It's a
like there is
paradigm shift.
kind of, yes, vibrations, or there's something that I just believe it, and I very much talk about this to other people also, because I just want this energy to reach to everybody, that I think
Absolutely.
that this is a kind of shift that is happening, and this is something that is going to take humanity to another level. This is like, it has my firm belief in it.
Yeah,
So
we don't need to find water in Mars. We need to
yeah, we
just
have to
sure
first
that people
provide
in
water
Earth can
to
get access to
people
water.
who are on this planet. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, since you are talked about all the work, I know, like, maybe we're running out of time, but there are two more small activities that you just mentioned. So I want to mention,
Yeah.
because of pandemic, we are not able to explore too many things. But then I try to, support some of the stay active programs like that.
Mhm.
Being fit, being stay active is very important in nowadays, right?
Uh,
Being for immunity. So there's a program called, Paddle More, Pollute Less, and I really firm believer of that. Climate change is real,
mhm.
right? I mean, people
Yes.
don't expect, people are not realizing at this moment that climate change is real. What we are leaving for our kids, for our next generation, we also don't know, right?
Correct.
So that's why I try to support those programs. So I try to, like, donate cycles
Mhm.
to the people like who really need. There is a one school guy who is to walk for like 10 kilometers every day to go to school. So I have to make sure that they get the cycle. There are some people who walk for like 15, 20 kilometers just to daily work, to get to their work. So there's a program, it's an amazing program by one of my friend in
Mhm.
Hyderabad, who is supporting this, and I think he has done, he is he's a kind of organizer, and he's some donating cycles to hundreds for now, right? So I just try to contribute from my end to a certain extent to make sure that in a year, at least couple of cycles, I also provide from my side, right?
Wow, that's fun.
And one more I know topic that you talked about is about health. So basically, I took advantage of my family. So my wife, she's a doctor, and she's kind of providing this free teleconsultation, medical consultation to the people. So a lot of people have reached out to her over phone, and
Mhm.
I mean that's going to be the future of healthcare, right? So and I mean telemedical or the video medical kind of stuff is going to be the future. So until unless you get into surgery or something, right? So she's kind of supporting patients over phone, and a lot of people have reached out to her. So that's something that I have initiated recently. What I mean, at max, whatever we could do, being in our own cocoon, right?
You are already, see your whole family has, started into this. This is really amazing, and I'm very sure like people who are listening to us will get inspired by it. Okay, so moving on, like tell me, what is your mission? Where do you see yourself in next 3 years, 5 years? What is your mission in life? Vision and mission, if I.
So yeah, so mission is like it's maybe too many thoughts in my mind. I cannot say there's something one.
Mhm.
My mission is to help the needy. It's a very small tag, like to help the needy, right? So there are a lot of people who really need help in multiple aspects. So
Mhm.
if I could make a difference by just making few people, help, I cannot change the world overnight. But
Mhm.
whatever I could in my capacity, if I can help, I mean, I would try to and love to do that. Doesn't matter for next 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. But I do have some short-term goals for people, and I also have some long-term goals.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll definitely get to more details to you later. I don't want to disclose all until they are really in action,
Uh-huh.
right? Because our work should speak, in terms of what we do. So I do have plans, but then my motto is to help people as much as we can,
Mhm.
and make people aware that how positive things are around. Just
Mhm.
we need to explore that part of it. I mean, negativity is something that we can always vouch, we can always come from any point sort of time, but how positive we can stay, and that's going to help everyone. So that's the overall mission for Avadut, I would say. And
Wow.
yes, personal also, I have some own expectations. I want to see some. I want to travel to different areas where I would like to understand their perspective. So that will keep on moving on until borders are closed, where I'm not able to do. But I would definitely do. So yes, we need to make sure that our personal health, our everything is also on proper shape, so that we can do help to others. right? When in the aeroplane where they say, right? So you have to put your mask on before you put the others. So, so you have to make sure that you need to make yourself motivated. You need to make yourself positive. You need to make yourself fit. And maybe I'm not. If my wife listens to it, she might not like that I'm talking about fitness. But then I try to as much as I can whenever I get some time. But yeah, because the industry that we work on, we always have our 9 to 5 job, which we always have to support, right? I mean, that's kind of bread and butter we do for. But then, whatever I could do during the weekends, during early mornings, late nights, I try to spend my time here.
Wow, amazing. So my next question would be, Rahul, like you travel the world because of your job and
So,
everything. What do you think is the core learning from that? If you had to just like summarize it, that what you get to learn when you meet like people around the globe, different perspective, different mindset. What is that one thing that just like one should not try to miss it if getting an opportunity to access to more people, do that. Like what would be that one thing you would like to tell?
so first thing I would, if it's a kind of suggestion that people want, and I would say,
Uh,
just talk to people, right? The
mhm,
moment you talk to people, you get a complete different perspective of what you're thinking. As I said, we are always mindset, okay, we have to get into class. We have to in India typically we have to get into school. We have to get to a job. We have to get a big house. We have to get car. I mean, this is all being programmed here, which is not correct,
yeah.
right? And in some of the countries I have seen, like they have really able to come out of this, and
Yeah.
they're able to make sure that kids do their own thing. So moment you start talking to everyone, like that's a very small thing I like to say. So if in India we are
Mhm,
traveling around, I know we have too many people also, we're traveling, and when you laugh, when you greet somebody, people might not take it very easily, right? I mean, that is not there yet in, but in outside country, even same Indian people, when we meet each other, when we see each other, we at least talk twice. We smile, and then things get a little different, right? So when you talk to these people, you get a completely different perspective of anything. I mean, it could be food, it could be around traveling around, it could be about studies, it could be about research, anything. So my suggestion would be like, and that's what I learned, that when I talk to people around, I mean, things, I have a completely different perspective because I have done a lot of case studies outside. I have done some research on CRM. So I have some friends who are from Vietnam, who are from Iran, and definitely Indians are all over college places, right? So this was one of my college dissertation I was doing. Then when I talk to them, you say, okay, this is how we should be do. This is how my brain is programmed to think through. But when I listen to them, it's a completely different perspective, and which completely making sense. So that is something I would say, like, don't stick to your own ideas and think that meant that I'm not saying that's not correct, but try to listen to others also. Be a good listener, right? And then try to see like how try to wear some other lens also to think to the think to the world. That's what I would suggest.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
perfectly said. Like
Yeah.
if you have to, like summarize like how it has evolved you as a person, by doing all the activities that you had been doing till now in your life. What do you think it has evolved you as a person? How?
So when you say evolve as a person, yeah. So if you get into work, for example, all of our a lot of people are passionate about work, and we do. But at times when things get monotonous, right? So you need to get some vibes of the things going around. I mean, that's every person is different. I'm not trying to imbibe this on everyone, instill it on anyone else. But every person has their own set of thoughts around, right? So we need to make sure that, as you rightly said, you are kind of pursuing something that you really love for. So work is something some people really like, and they want to have the career in it, and they are doing great in it. Some people, and I love to do that, right? Because I am from it in for 15 years in the industry, and I really love it. But then on the side, there are also something, some ingredients that we need, right? Which makes you keep moving, right? So as a person, it has helped me a lot, and I think that is kind of reflecting in my work also. The moment I interacted with villagers, the moment I interacting with some professors from UK, the moment I talk to some of the Canadian people, like who is like doing lobster fishing only 3 months a year, because only 3 months they're farmers, they can do only farming for 3 months to catch lobster, and rest of the 9 months they enjoy, right? So that kind of people. So I think it helped me a lot, and it actually reflects in the day job that I do, right? And every day is a learning. I mean, I mean, it's a huge world. I mean, there cannot be something that you said, oh, I know everything. Being at work or outside, there's always something new, and you need to crave for it. You need to have a passion for it, and then things will come to you. But you need to explore more and more. It's unlimited. There's no, no limit to explore things in this world, right? So
That's true.
that's what it comes out to me. Yeah.
Yeah, open to everything, and things will just, because somehow we
Yes.
just restrict ourselves. So you very rightly
We do.
said you should be open for everything that is coming your way. Just be ready
Yeah.
for it, like accept it, instead of most of us, what we do is we just start questioning, Acha, is it good for me or not, should I try it or not. For most people it happens like that. But it's very rightly said that if something new is happening to your life, and somewhere you are connected with, just be open up. Things
Yes.
are going to change for you, definitely. So
So
my
life is all about calculated risk. I mean,
yes.
everyone can say like all the biggest one millionaires, billionaires, which we are not. They can always say big things, and I do listen to them. I love them, but
Uh,
then we have to. We are kind of a middle class family, right? So I mean, that's what I could say. And we have
uh,
a family to. We don't have the whole world to impress, but the point is like there should be always a calculated risk that you can always take to make some difference. Otherwise, it will be like after 60 years, maybe in case your life you will think that what I have achieved in 60 years, right? Could have done much better. But this is the moment when you can start doing it. A small thing. I mean, it should
mhm.
not be big. Small thing matters, matters a lot.
Yeah, that is really true. If there is one thing that you can change in this world, what do you think it would be? Like, do you think that if certain things, not certain, just one thing, if that will change, it is going to affect a whole lot of people on this globe? What do you think it could be?
Yes. I think, as I said one word earlier, like climate change is real,
Uh-huh.
right? So that is one thing I want everyone to think through.
Mhm.
That small things that will make huge difference.
Mhm.
So I mean, this pandemic, how I see this pandemic is like the nature's revenge. There are a lot of media, a lot of WhatsApp, a lot of Insta, a lot of Twitter things going on. But that's actually, if you look at just one liner, you can say this is the nature's way of telling us that
Yes,
enough is enough, right? So
yes,
if we don't listen to it, if we don't take care of the people around, or the things around, or the plants around, or the rivers around, right? It'll going to impact us back, right? Being in the incident from the Kedarnath, being it from the Bhuj. I mean, you take about it, right? What has, I mean, this is like, if you reflect, then you will realize that this is just the nature's way of telling us that, guys, slow down, you know.
yes,
So that is something I'd like to say, that I'm giving a very small example. The
yes,
milk packet that we get every day, right? The milk packet we get every day. So what we do basically, we just cut a small piece of it, and then we pour. So what happened to a small bit of it? We have like millions and millions of those small pieces, which which goes into water, which goes into other areas, and they are not being decomposed for
yes.
decades,
Mhm.
right? So rather than, what we should do, we should cut it in such a way that it does not get out
That,
of the whole pack.
yeah,
And that is a huge difference. People will not realize it's a small thing. I mean, morning we get up,
yeah,
we cut it and we just put it. We don't realize it, this small piece of that poly bag, what will it will do. But like, we have milk going into households for millions and crores and millions and billion people. So if everybody does a different change, it will
mhm,
make a whole lot of, because we have a recycle process for the whole milk bag, but we don't
right.
have a recycle process for a small thing, right? So it's a small example. But yeah, one thing, if I have to really talk about, is how to do, what to do, I don't know. But yeah, when a small thing, when you go to shop, when you go for shopping, do not take poly bags, right? And try to take your own bags, which is, there's no harm about it. And then you should plan a little better on that. But then it's not possible all the time, all right? But we should try to think about it, because this is going to be very, very real. And maybe after pandemic, maybe after 10 years, 20 years down the line, I see a huge devastation if we don't take care of it now.
Mm, that is true.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Rahul, like it was like for everyone else, I'm very sure that we got to learn a lot from this. And, before we just sum up, I just want you to, if you can tell any crux of whatever the idea that you have, you think is going to serve humanity. And for people who really want to work in some
Yeah.
way to help others, or if they want to work with you, then just please do a invite for all our viewers, please.
Absolutely. I mean, thank you so much. This is a great conversation, and I think we should do it often. But
Yeah,
everyone, I would say, whoever is capable of,
yeah,
right? should try to help people. That's the whole mission and motive. Could come in either way, right? You are serving when a person coming at your door from Amazon, offer a drink glass of water. Most of the time they will say no, because the current situation they are also very scared of. But they have come all the way to deliver your package. So be good to people. Be good to people. Offer a glass of water. It will not make much difference, right? When you go out and you see some kids getting starved, so don't give them money. Just buy something and get some food. So small things. I would say I would request everyone to help people whatever way they could, and then they don't have to come to just me, or because mine is a very small organization. But if anyone want to reach out to me, definitely, you can provide the details of my website and the portfolios and stuff they can look into. But it doesn't really require people to reach out to big NGOs and stuff only to do work. They can start, like charity starts at home, right? And then if they want to connect with me also, I'd be more than happy to take help, because I want to extend my work towards more people, so that if I have more manpower, then I can expand to more people. That's the one request that I would have. And I would say stay positive, stay active, and then things just good. There are a lot of negative, there are always ups and downs, they'll be there, but just try to imbibe the positives and try to get away from the negatives. Things will automatically balance out well.
Yes, it was amazing. Yeah, all the advices were really great, Rahul. And like for people who are interested, I'll share his link and everything in the description box, and I will also share his whatever that Yavdut is doing, some videos form. I'll share it here, so you can totally check out that. And so before we sum up, I just want to quote these lines, which is from Michael Beckwith, and he's a great spiritual leader. He says that somehow we have, as a human being, we have since our childhood been conditioned and told that when we come to this planet, we have come here to receive. But he says it's not like that. It's opposite. You have come to this planet to actually serve. You have some gift that you need to serve to this world, and your duty on this planet is to find out what that gift is and use it to serve others. So this is the thing that you have to do. Every human on this planet, this is the real work for them. But most of us, because of our conditioning, and no matter where we come from, if it's US or Europe or India or any continent, we all are brought up in this way. We have to agree. It's not that we only Indians believe like that. It's with whole humanity. But then someday things have to shift. Someday one has to understand what is the real thing. And when people are telling, why not giving it a thought and just trying to be somebody that you'll be proud of. Like, you don't have to make others proud of, just be proud of who you are. Just do that, and you're doing wonders to this planet, to this earth. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Rahul. It was amazing talking to you. So thank you everyone. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I'll share all the details and everything, and you'll see the pictures of your booth after this video. So thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you, Sushma. Thank you so much.
Rahul. Bye.